Hello, I've spoken on this subject before. It's what I call watch the delta, which is the idea that you can get a better estimate of a quantity that interests you by looking at prior estimates that forecasters have made and simply projecting those forecasts forward. So, for example, here's data from the International Energy Agency, or the IEA. They're an agency based in Paris, France, that does energy forecasting on oil and gas, solar power, coal, natural gas, and uses of energy like electric cars and electric lighting and things like that. Every year they publish a document called the World Energy Outlook, or WEO, and I went back and I just downloaded all of them for 20 years to 2006. I wanted to see how their forecast of the amount of solar photovoltaic or solar PV panels installed worldwide for the year 2020 actually held up. So in this graph I just went through each of the documents and picked out the number where they said how many gigawatts of solar PV panels there'd be worldwide in the year 2020. For example, in 2008, they said that in 2020 there'd be 72 gigawatts. If you don't know what a gigawatt of solar panels is, it's just a number of solar panels. You could think of it as a large solar PV farm. These days, a large one is at least a gigawatt. So if you built a 1 gigawatt solar PV farm, you're in like the top 30 in the world. But it's just a number of solar panels. So just think of it as, they said that by 2020 there'd be 72 large solar PV farms in the world. But within just a couple of years, they realized those estimates were going to be wrong. In 2011, China started building what's now the largest PV farm in the world with a capacity of 21 gigawatts. Right now in 2026, the 10 largest PV farms in the world are all in China, and together they have a combined capacity larger than 72 gigawatts. So through the 2010s, the IEA kept revising their estimates upward to 200, then 300, 400, 500 for what they thought 2020 would be like. And by 2017, they said that in 2020, there'd be nearly 600 gigawatts. And in 2017, they stopped making forecasts for 2020 and they shifted to making forecasts for 2025. So I don't have any numbers after that from them. I just have, 2006 to 2017. It turns out the actual installed capacity in 2020 worldwide was 741 gigawatts. But, basically we could see that all along. If we take the data points from 2008 to 2017, and here I've simply used Microsoft Excel's linear regression built-in function. It's the simplest thing in Excel. Just show me the best fit straight line through the data and project forward to the year 2020. And based on how the IEA's projections changed from 2008 to 2017, by 2017 we could have guessed that their forecast in the year 2020 would have been over 700 gigawatts. It turns out the straight line through here actually says about 707 gigawatts in 2020. The actual amount installed was 741. So by 2017, you could have projected forward, said 707, and been less than 5% wrong. So I've shown off this technique before, but it's a really simple way to keep track of forecasts. The idea is don't just pay attention to the latest forecast, but look at how forecasts change over time, and that will give you a better forecast than any one individually.